Today we got another video from the propaganda specialist RTE, okay? Of course, we have Upfront with Katie Hannon. This is an audience debate, okay? So this is talking to the audience, seeing what their opinion is on Ireland's approach to immigration. So here we're going to have a couple of different people, guys. I love to hear the different debate between people. We're going to break down who's telling the truth and who's being stupid and bought and paid for in this country, because Lord knows a lot of these audience members are set up and paid for, whereas some others aren't. It's good to see. So let's get it, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts down below. I want to have a conversation with people. I want to push this message more, so let's go.
We are debating immigration policy, and I just want to get a bit of a flavour of what our audience thinks about it.
Here we
what
go.
are our thoughts here? Yes, yourself at the back.
Yeah, so Sinead made the very good point that I was going to make as well, that we've had direct provision for a quarter of a century now at this stage. It was meant to be temporary, and there are still people who went in 20 years ago that are still there. In terms of immigration for Ukrainians, it was 3% of the population of Ireland were from Ukraine coming into Ireland. It was 2% last year. It's not this massive influx or invasion that people seem to think.
So that guy is being disingenuous. It's 122,000 people last year, okay? Now the population of Ireland is only 5 million, okay, 6 million max. So that's still a massive amount of people, you know, in 1 year, a couple of years. That's a massive amount of people, guys. You know, and the thing about, you know, Ukrainian or anyone coming over from war zones, I don't think they're allowed to work either. You know, and we saw recently as well, the government were paying 800,000 euro for 8 cars, you know, massive amounts of money. So 200,000 euro for each car to pay for their stuff, like just a crazy amount of money spending. I think it was actually 1.6 million. So they paid 200,000 euro for each luxury car for 8 cars, apparently, in Dublin. There was sort of a mechanic whistleblower, you could call it. So there are a lot of atrocities and money spending and money laundering that's not good going on as well.
The only reason people are angry about it is because of government incompetence, where they simply don't know what they're doing. How many thousand houses were donated to Red Cross that haven't been contacted? You know, we have places we can put people that aren't tents in Strap Alley or on Molesworth Street or somewhere like that.
No, we shouldn't be putting immigrants and people not from the country in houses, guys. We should house our own people first. First and foremost, Irish people come first, guys. We're Ireland first always, okay? If you have a passport, you live here, you work here, you contribute to society. You know, we could almost say, like, you know, like an ethnic group, okay? We put the people first. You see, in Indonesia, I was watching an Instagram video this morning. In Indonesia, in Bali, you can't buy a house. Only if you're a citizen can you buy a house in Indonesia. Same in Abu Dhabi, same in Dubai. These Middle Eastern countries are very, very safe, very cool. Same with Bali, all amazing. But their citizens, the Saudis come first, the Emiratis come first. If you walk into a shop like I did when I was a kid, I used to walk into flipping Dunkin' Donuts in Abu Dhabi. If there was a Saudi guy wearing the whole, you know, dish dash and the whole get up, if he would come in first, he would get served first before everybody else. Imagine that happening in Ireland, guys. You know, an ethnically Irish person getting served first before everybody. The country would lose their mind, okay? That wouldn't happen here, okay? But we definitely should give houses to people with Irish citizenships first, before anybody else. The people of Ireland should get preferential treatment, 100% across the board.
It's pure and utter incompetence, and it's actually probably something that they're doing deliberately to make changes like they're doing now.
Okay, well, it's a fairly a leap ahead. We might have to put that to the minister. Yeah, yourself, yeah.
So firstly, I see we're going to talk about Drumhair, and I'm from Sligo myself. There are genuine concerns in communities that has to be noted. That's the first thing I want to say. But we must realise the government's response on this. They had a very unprecedented situation to deal with, and they have. To say it's incompetent is ridiculous. They have dealt with it well. And
this guy's obviously the son of a minister, the son of the Taoiseach or something. You know, he's related in some way to some government official, of course, absolutely. You can hear his West Brit, you know, Dublin accent. Oh, of course, it's absolutely handled perfectly. Like he's from Cambridge, but not really. You know, they all love the British. These rich people love the British, even though they colonized the country for 800 years type of job. But yeah, absolutely scandalous lads. Like these lads here, man. Like, I swear, like, bullying didn't happen in South Dublin because they all went to posh private schools or some shit. Now, I didn't get bullied because I flipping, you know, I hit the gym and shit. But these guys were Pointexers, man. You know, these guys are losers their whole lives, and then all of a sudden they get a bit of power from the politics, and it just goes to their head immediately.
They're dealing with it as it's going forward. We're taking the European approach. That is what has to be done. But there is one thing that we
should leave the EU, absolutely.
need to be very careful about here, and it's missing in an awful lot of these conversations. Ireland is the great country that it is because of the rich, diverse nature of our country and the people in it. And
what? This lad's bought and paid for. Ireland's great because it's diverse. What is this idiot talking about? How does having Chinese restaurants make Ireland a great country? How does having tons of people make a country a great country? Diversity doesn't do shit, guys. This is like a lie that people have been told. It's great to have diverse people around you. All my friends are from everywhere. But in and itself, in a vacuum, diversity doesn't do shit, guys. Man, this lad is completely delusional. Holy hell, man.
we're having this conversation. We need to have the conversation. There are issues in local communities that need to be addressed, absolutely. But we cannot feed into the far right arguments that are being sprouted in areas of the country.
Okay.
I knew he was about to drop the far right. Oh, as soon as you say far right now, it's like a buzzword. People go, oh my God, don't talk about that. Don't become a far right lunatic. Like, do you see how stupid and brainwashed people are? This is like the height of ignorance from this lad.
And I know you're very supportive of the government there. Have you connections with any political?
I am a member of Fianna Fáil, yes.
Oh, get him off the I'd be like, get him off the stage. Get him off the flipping audience. I'd be like, I'd say, and what donors do you have? That would be my follow-up question to that. Who is your leader? Look, everyone around him laughing because, of course, and he's just the smug look on his face. Like, does nobody call these people out? Guys, call these people out, man. This is ridiculous.
Okay, thank you for that. Yes, yourself. Sorry, just wait for the mic to get you. Yeah.
Pointex, right? Flipping choke that guy out. If I was wrestling that guy or doing some sort of MMA, that guy would be finished by 32 seconds, bro. These guys are wimps, bro.
Thank you very much. And I'd just like to add, I understand there's obligations, legal obligations for the country to take in migrants. I'm a product and a beneficiary of coming to this country as a migrant. And Ireland is very diverse and very welcoming, which is fantastic. But I think we're missing the big piece where there's a bit of social unrest. It's not as a consequence of the Irish people not wanting migrants coming into the country. It's an issue that the existing people in the country are not being taken care of. I think the government needs to do a better job. As we say, take care of the Irish first. I think it's the right of any citizen in their own country to ask to be taken care of first. But the situation we have is that, not just from a housing perspective, but as an overall, on a lot of resources, mental health, different areas, that the country needs help on is not getting it. So I suppose my question is, at what point do we put the Irish people first? Because I benefit as a consequence of the help of Irish people, and they also need to be taken care of.
Damn, that minute-long segment that he just said there, I know you guys might think I'm pandering on it. This guy is a legend. I've seen him on other podcasts as well. I'm not familiar with his name. I saw him on a couple other podcasts in Ireland. The minute-long segment that he just rattled off there, quite possibly one of the most powerful speeches I think I've heard by anyone. Do you hear what he said there? He said, I'm a product of this coming over. Many people are, of course, I have people in my family that are not even from Ireland. Okay, of course, I'm half and half, right? I'm like a half loaf of bread, I'm half Irish. But here's the thing, lads. At what point do you put the Irish people first? Okay, some people can come and, work different sectors. But at what point do you put the Irish people first? Like, I love that, guys. I love the way he put Ireland first there. Like, that was perfect, man. And they have no answer to this, presumably.
Okay, we'll get back to the panel with that later.
We'll get back to the panel with that. No, they won't. They didn't answer his question. Because he's correct, guys. That was an amazing speech right there.
But I want to go now to, I suppose, what's become...
Because he said it's not a problem with the people coming in. Because a lot of people want to label far right, far this. There was loads of African, there was loads of Chinese, there was loads of different diverse groups at the 26th of April far right protest, anti-immigration protest, which it wasn't. It was a protest against the anti-government procedures and agendas that they have. Okay, what people are mad about is not getting houses, preferential treatment. You should be getting preferential treatment if you're a citizen of a country. Okay.
A very familiar pattern now. We've covered it in the studio a number of times over the last year. It's happening, we know, in Rosslare this evening. There's protests over asylum seekers being brought into Rosslare. And we want to go to the village of Drumhair in Leitrim. And you've been mobilising up there over plans to accommodate 155 international protection applicants in your local hotel. Fiona and Mary, you came up to us from Leitrim this evening. I should tell people, if they're not familiar with Drumhair, it's not a major metropolis, just over 900 people in the village. And I understand.
So 900 people in the village, and they're trying to bring over 150 people. Now, in my personal opinion, there should be no centres, guys. That's bullshit. If you want to come over, work, you know, like I said, we can have a really limited amount of people. Cut it off for a few years, you know, analyse what's happening in the country first of all, do a complete background check of everybody. Okay, is everybody working? Nobody's stealing social welfare? Because people come here and then they take the social welfare and then they leave again. Okay, let's try and break down some of the fraud that's happening, and then we can, you know, maybe bring in a very limited amount of people to work certain different jobs. But here's the thing, guys. I mean, even we can have the debate to bring nobody in. I know the government doesn't bring anybody in unless it's into these IPAS centres, but I mean just that sort of, you know, somewhat immigration. But having this free-form EU, UN bringing people over to IPAS centres is nonsense. There shouldn't be any of that. That shouldn't even be a thing in Ireland, guys. That's crazy shit, like.
You thought that the local hotel, the Abbey Manor Hotel, was being renovated to accommodate 26 incoming families, and you would have been okay with that?
Yeah, that's right. The hotel got planning permission for 26 suites, which were bedrooms and live-in accommodation, and all along we were being told that there was families of refugees coming to the hotel. So we were taken by surprise then when the IPAS briefing came out, and it said that there was going to be 155 IPAS applicants being accommodated in the hotel,
Jesus.
A mixture of single males and families.
And how did you find out about it?
Well, I had made...
So they pulled the old bait and switch. They said there's going to be some refugees for some war, which we shouldn't take in anyways. You know, we've taken our fair share. But instead they put in 155 people. What the hell? That's insane, guys.
Inquiries to our local politicians, and when the briefing came out on the 7th of November, they had forwarded me a copy of the briefing.
I know, and I have to ask you this, there were reports that there were roadblocks being set up by locals to stop asylum seekers arriving in the village.
Yeah, there were no roadblocks, and the Gardaí in Manor Hamilton confirmed that there were no roadblocks, and they had no reports of roadblocks.
Oh.
We did have 2 gatherings in the village out of pure frustration, because when the IPAS briefing came out, it said that if the community had any concerns, they could contact the community team in the Department of Integration. So we sent email after email after email and got no reply of any.
Yeah, I think we can show a picture of one of your protests there. People might be able to see it at home. A lot of people turned up at those protests for a small community.
Yeah, there were about 4.
Yeah, because in small communities, they want to stay a small community. They don't want to stay this like crazy, you know, free-for-all type of place. Absolutely. You should come out and you should stand up for your community, guys.
400 people there that evening, and I suppose...
Was it all locals?
It was all locals, yeah. The first evening on the Wednesday evening, it was organised really overnight. We decided to get together a very simple petition, and it was simply saying, Drumhair, we're not saying no to refugees. We are asking the government departments and the developer to reconsider the numbers and to house families as promised. And we were very happy to welcome refugees.
I mean, I wouldn't be happy to welcome refugees, guys. Like, what is our obligation to do that? Like, it's no obligation. This is what they're lying to the people. What it is people are making up above you, the ordinary people like me and you. It's not that we're immoral. They're just making a ton of money. You know what it is, guys? Let me break this down, actually. What the government and RTE do is they lie to the people. They say, you are immoral, you're unethical if you don't let these refugees come and stay with you. But in reality, the UN and EU are paying the government and the RTE News and all these massive radio stations tons of money, and then they're making it seem like you're the bad one for not wanting it, because they're making loads of money off it. It's absolutely insane, guys. Get clued in, guys, to what's going on.
What's your main concerns?
So I suppose our main concerns are that the numbers are too high for the village. It is a small, very small village, one street. The population is going to increase by about 20% overnight. We don't feel like anybody has listened to any of our concerns. There's been a complete lack of communication, consultation. We don't feel like we have any reason to trust the community team and the Department of Integration.
Tucker Carlson said it. They hate the people. They hate the people. Conor McGregor and Tucker Carlson said it in their interview recently. They hate the people. They don't give a shit about the people. As long as they're making money, they'll do what they want, guys. It's a cabal. It's a cartel. It's it's a flipping conglomerate, you know what I mean, of people up top that we have no say in anything. It's bullshit, you know.
There have been voices raised locally saying, look, you know, this is an emergency, this is a crisis, there's people being handed tents and asked to sleep on the streets. Like, it's just wrong to have a building like the Abbey Manor Hotel vacant in those circumstances.
You know, and I suppose we had never wished that it'd be vacant. We had always said we were going to be happy to welcome families. The Abbey Hotel is in the centre of...
Or this is a crazy thought, because you're a hotel, why don't you house like tourists and make money that way? Why are you trying to bring in refugees? No, a hotel is for people. If they want to bring in their own people, let them build their own centres or whatever, iPass centres or some bullshit, which they're doing now, which they shouldn't be allowed to do. I would be objecting to that as well. But I'm saying, like, they shouldn't be telling the people to do that and reclaiming hotels, first and foremost. That is ludicrous, guys. What? Man, this fucking country has lost its mind. Like, you guys are just idiots, man, standing by watching this shit happen. Holy hell.
The village, it's a real focal point in the village. The 3 buses for the school stopped there with our children. Our fear is that even though the briefing says that it's going to be 155, a mixture of families and single males, we don't have any reason to believe that it's not going to end up full of single males. And we have concerns about that, and we feel the concerns are genuine concerns.
What are your concerns?
We have 3 buses stopped there at the Abbey Hotel in the morning to take the children to school.
They could be predators, they could be criminals, the government don't do background checks. What do you mean, what are the concerns? Katie Hannon is so bought and paid for it, it's unreal. What are your concerns that 150 random men from some third world country are going to come into the country that don't even speak English? And they're just going to be let loose on the city? Like, guys, you guys need to get your heads screwed on. What you mean? They could cause any sort of chaos. They're not going to be getting with any women because they don't speak English, so they're going to be sexually deprived. Like, what you mean? Like, what are these people? Are these people clueless? They won't be able to hold a job, which means they might commit crimes because they're not getting paid enough money by the state. Like, guys, completely ludicrous. Holy shit, do I have to spell this out for people? What the hell are they talking about?
There's very little in the village for teenagers to do. They spend a lot of time in the park. They'll have to walk by the Abbey Hotel to get to the park. The elderly people in the village will walk down at the back of the hotel to go to the cemetery. There's a busy shop opposite it. I think if you were to take 155 males from anywhere in the country and put them into a building of that size with very little to do.
But just to be clear, it's 31 is the figure you've been told.
Well, the last communication we got, it didn't even limit the number to 31 males.
Okay.
Holy hell, lads, that was horrendous. Let me see. So RT, of course, have their comment section turned off. Okay, that one got 34,000 views only a year ago. And nothing has gotten better since then. Matter of fact, it's actually gotten much worse, guys. So it's good to see people standing up and, you know, talking about the bullshit that's happening in society. Absolutely, we should not be taking anyone. It is not our obligation. We have no obligation to anybody in this world. We are Irish people. We're free and open. And we shouldn't have to do anything for anybody. So everyone can go to hell if they think they're going to abuse our system. So I love you all. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts down below. If you guys want to support me, hit the join link. Become a member. Because, you know, that's basically what I do, guys. Push back against the mainstream. And you guys love to see it. And I love to entertain and educate you guys. Because the shit that's happening nowadays has just gone way too far, man. And I wasn't really up to date with what the hell was going on. But now the people are awakened. And we notice, okay? I'll see you guys in the next one, man. Stay free.